Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Chicago Bears and our home team. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. This is Jalen Richard, the fourth-year man from Southern Miss. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
A 7-yard pickup.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Looking to throw again on second down. Carr looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They run it with a rookie from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down.
We own it. 25, check 25, check 25, check 3, check 3, check 3.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's got a first out and more inside the 30. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Tyrell Williams. His 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll go with Darius Geis, who missed all of 2018 with injury. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Trubisky now to throw on 3rd down. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 43.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 43. From the shotgun is Trubisky. He's got his running back, Darius Geis. And he's taken down inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got a bike. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Lock in.
From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on 1st down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
You got 3 down.
Now Trubisky. His throw caught right around the 6. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, it has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Darius Geis. His 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Unable to come through. 31 yards there and a first down. The Raiders last year, they were 25th in the league in rushing, and a good reason why they used one of their 3 first-round picks on Jacobs for runs like we just saw. Jacobs was the first running back taken in this year's draft, 24th overall. That was actually the pick that was originally acquired from the Chicago Bears in that Khalil Mack trade.
29.
Carr now on first down. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
That's another Raiders first down.
7-7, our score after 1. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, it's Carr. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Williams. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
That's another Raiders first down. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Jacobs. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Alert, alert! Alert, alert!
Geis with the carry on 2nd down. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Now Trubisky to throw, and Robinson with a big catch. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Pass from Trubisky taken in by Gabriel. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
That first down completion only netted them 3. Second and 7. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. He's got his tight end, Burton. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 31-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They go play action here on first down. From his linebacker spot, Vontaze Burfict with a sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Throwing here, Trubisky. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So that one a hold, right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a second and long after the holding call. Now it's Trubisky. Off to Geis on the screen. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now Trubisky lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
The Raiders take over first and 10. Let's go. 19-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Carr. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Whip. Watch the whip.
From the gun, it's Carr. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Here we go. Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on Ringo. Tight ends on Ringo.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. To Gabriel, middle of the field. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This one from 48 yards away. And this one looks good. It is good. Right. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we have reached halftime here in a good one. 10-10 is our score. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 31-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now it's Trubisky. Completes it to the tight end, Burton. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On the ground, it's Geis, and he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now after the run by Geis, here's first and 10. Trubisky will throw. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Chicago! Allen Robinson with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith, as he gets the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Throwing on second and long. Carr under pressure again, and down he goes again. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a third and long. Shotgun now for Carr. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And a big 32-yard play on third.
And a Raider first down. First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Now, 50. 180. Hey, we're good, we're good. 180.
Now Carr. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's got this down to the 35. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. First 9 seasons in the league for Brown were, of course, in Pittsburgh. Last year, though, growing concerns of his dissatisfaction in his role with the Steelers and the quibbles with Ben Roethlisberger. So he ends up being traded to the Raiders in March. 7-time Pro Bowler, 6 straight years of at least 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns. Not a bad stretch. What a talent for Derek Carr to have a rush coming, and he's taken down. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
I'm going back to you.
Throwing now is Carr. He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Back to the ground on first, it's Geis. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Leon Hall, the former Michigan man, in on the tackle. You don't see that a ton, do you? A cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
You get rock me. You get rock me. You got it.
Here's Trubisky. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. Allen Robinson, kiss him goodbye. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, his second touchdown of the afternoon as the Bears push further out in front. Extra point good by Catanzaro, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Carr now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Derek Carr, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Raiders last year, and they only won 4 games total, so they've got some experience dealing with tight ones. On first down, it's Jacobs. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6.
Hey, we're good.
To throw, it's Carr. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 yards there and a first down. Wilson gives Oakland a veteran option at tight end. Remember, they had Jared Cook last year. He's now in New Orleans. But Wilson, 5 years in Seattle, then 1 in Detroit before the native of Windsor, Canada, signed with Oakland back in March. Carr now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down.
Check, 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 check.
From midfield, here's Carr. He's going to look deep down the field. This is intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
At the 31-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Better bring it. You better bring it.
Now Trubisky. He's got Burton here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Yeah.
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Take over first and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Now a run with Geis. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they...
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Darius Geis with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bears turn that interception into a touchdown. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, one-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr rolling to his left. Towards the end zone for... That is caught by Brown. Touchdown Raiders. Antonio Brown. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Raiders get a score closer. So now Carr, he'll lead the Raiders up to go for 2. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Geis again. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. Touchdown, Chicago! Darius Geis, 45 yards as the Bears push further out in front. Extra point good by Catanzaro. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
I mean, it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Carr now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
637.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Eddie Goldman with a sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17-yard. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Troy Apke. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Check 55, Mike. I don't think you got it, son.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Hey. 4 down.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Chicago, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.